Welcome back, Lions. It's Miss Juliana and Miss Beavis here, and we are going to do a lab demonstrating the
digestive system.
So we are going to start with the first part of the digestive system, and that is food. So we have a nice sandwich here that Miss Beavis is going to break apart, which will represent your teeth. And so your teeth are biting and biting it and breaking it into pieces. And then as your mouth is starting to chew it up and get it into smaller and smaller pieces, you get that saliva is the fancy word for it,
Spit.
or spit, and it sort of moistens the food so it's easier to start to swallow. And as you see, you can start feeling, if you do this at home, how the food becomes a lot softer. And your mouth will continue to develop or make that saliva and make it so it's almost ready to swallow, because if it gets too big of chunks, then you will choke, and we don't want that to happen. So here we have an esophagus. I know it looks like a paper towel roll, but it is not. For today's purposes, it is an esophagus. So what happens is your esophagus is in the back of your throat. So as you start to swallow the food, it goes down this long pipe called the esophagus. That's a fun word, right?
Esophagus.
So you're swallowing and it going down the tube, and it's landing in your stomach. And we'll talk about the stomach in just a moment. And it's going, this is a good sandwich, Miss Beavis.
Yum.
Delicious. Delicious sandwich. So it goes all the way down, and then it ends up into our stomach. Now, the stomach is a very impressive organ because it's made of muscle. And what it does is it just mushes and churns and squeezes and squishes and really breaks it down more. So it's really becoming now one big mush of things. Now, as we all know, in our stomach, or we might not know, it's full of acid. And we have here some stomach acid, otherwise known as Pepsi, that we're going to put in here. That's going to help break down the food even smaller, because now the stomach is getting it really, really small, and now it's becoming somewhat of a liquid, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So it's now becoming easier for the body to move, and the next step it's going to go into is the small intestine. Now, what's so funny about the small intestines is it is not small. It is 22 feet long, about, which is, I would say, from here to way over there. So, very long. If we were to lay down three of Miss Beavis and I, it would be 22 feet long, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
Okay, so we're all ready to go down into the small intestine.
And for all our purposes today, this sock is our small intestine.
It's our small intestines. Now, so the stomach empties into the small intestine. Now the liver and the gallbladder, and they help with all of this enzyme. But what's really important now is it's broke down and it's going into the small intestine.
Can you see it?
And it's a long journey because it's almost 22 feet long, and it's going in here. Now, the small intestine it's like able to have things go through it. So, as you see, all the water, the liquid, the nutrients is leaving the small intestines, and it is now going throughout your body to nurture, give your body nutrients and nutrients. Now, it's going to keep going because it's a long journey, and it gets rid of all of that liquid and nutrients, and then it's the solids stay in the small intestines, but now it's going to go where, Miss Beavis?
Large intestine.
So now it goes into the large intestines.
Or paper towel.
Which is, we're getting close to the end, guys. And this is where all of the extra fluid really leaves the intestines. If it doesn't, we know what happens then. That's not good when we have too much liquid left in the large intestines. And so it's absorbed back into the body, and we're left with a solid mass of waste. Now, we all know what this is called, but we don't need to say it. Do we need to say it, Miss Beavis? It's poop. So it's going to leave the body as waste, and it's going to go in your toilet and disappear forever. That ends. That was the digestive system.